I pretended to come inside of her, and they run off to the room like they usually do. But then a couple of seconds later, Diddy pops his head out the door and he's like, "Yo, fam, you came?" And I was like, "Yeah, I came, bro." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He closed the door, went back in. About 30 seconds later, he pops his head back out. He's like, "Yo, fam, come on, man. You didn't come, did you?"
What's up, everyone? Today, we're diving into one of the wildest, most shocking celebrity stories making waves right now. The strange allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and how Charlamagne and DJ Vlad broke it down in a viral interview. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Now, let's get into it. So, if you've been following the news lately, you know Diddy has been under heavy fire. From Cassie's lawsuit to countless disturbing rumors, the once untouchable mogul is now facing accusations that are not only career-ending, but also just plain bizarre. One of the strangest claims came from Daniel Phillip, a male escort who did an interview with VladTV. He described a shocking story about an 8-hour session with Diddy and Cassie.
At one point, he said that, him, Diddy, and Cassie were like doing some 8-hour freak off, whatever. And, he finally was just like, I got to get out of here. Like, I got to go home. So he basically faked an orgasm. So he pretended like he came inside her.
And Diddy said, "Where's the nut?"
Right. So she ran to the other room, and then Diddy comes out 10 minutes later. Was like, "Hey man, you sure you came?"
God.
He's like, "Yeah, definitely."
That alone sounds insane, but it gets worse. According to Daniel, Diddy literally ran back into the room to check whether he had finished or not, asking him multiple times like he was obsessed with proof. Now, what's wild here isn't just the act itself, but the alleged fixation. Charlamagne and Vlad joked about this, saying Diddy was hunting for semen like he hunted for samples when making his hit songs.
He was the same, deliberate, detailed, mind that tried to find these samples for these records, was trying to find that cum to rub on his nipples, man. That shit is crazy.
Think about that for a second. The same obsessive personality that made Diddy a music icon, digging through crates for the perfect sound, creating legendary remixes, being meticulous with his craft, allegedly showed up in his personal life in one of the most disturbing ways imaginable. But here's where the conversation takes a serious turn. Charlamagne points out something important. This is sad. As much as we can laugh at the absurdity of these stories, we can't ignore the bigger picture. Diddy was once the face of hip-hop culture. Music, fashion, business, even alcohol branding. If hip-hop had a mascot for an entire era, it was Diddy. He inspired millions, created bad boy records, and defined a generation.
Because I was like, man, this is sad. Because it was. Because you can't act like Diddy wasn't the maestro of culture that he was.
100%.
From music to fashion to alcohol, like he was hip hop for a long time. If hip hop had a mascot that took like literally everything to a whole other level, Diddy. It was Diddy.
100%.
And now that entire legacy is overshadowed by scandal, lawsuits, and disturbing allegations. Charlamagne makes another powerful point: discipline. He explains that the same discipline that allowed Diddy to stay up all night hunting samples and pushing artists to greatness was missing in other areas of his life. Instead of channeling that drive into positive outlets, he allegedly spiraled into drugs, violence, prostitution, and reckless behavior. This is a lesson not just about Diddy, but about anyone in power. Lack of discipline doesn't just hurt your career, it destroys your legacy.
This goes back to what I said about you can't live two lives. You can have a level of discipline that keeps you up all night in the studio, makes you hunt for these samples, knows what to tell these artists to get the best out of them. But then you can lack discipline in another area that has you doing reckless shit like hiring prostitutes.
Now, the interview also shifted into an important cultural discussion. Charlamagne argued that black men in positions of power don't get the same room for error that white men do.
I'm just simply saying that when you're a black man in America who reaches that level, you gotta move way more disciplined than a guy like a Harvey Weinstein has to. That's just my personal opinion. Like, why even risk it? Like, you're already a target. You're already a target because you're a black person. You're already a target because you're a rich black person.
He compared it to Harvey Weinstein, who had years of unchecked abuse before finally being held accountable. The point was clear. When you're black and successful in America, you don't get to make the same mistakes without harsher consequences. Vlad disagreed slightly, saying it wasn't just about race. It was the high-profile nature of Cassie's lawsuit and the shocking details that made it impossible to ignore. The conversation then shifted to Hollywood examples. They brought up Jonathan Majors, whose career took a nosedive after his misdemeanor case involving a white woman. Meanwhile, actor Jeremy Renner, who faced disturbing accusations during a custody battle, kept his Marvel roles, TV shows, and Disney appearances.
Everybody forgets about Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. I'm just going to tell you to look up Jeremy Renner and look up the stuff that he was accused of.
What was he accused of?
I'd rather you look it up. I don't like to just throw stuff out there because I don't want to say that and then it'd be wrong. But Jeremy Renner was accused of some heinous stuff, and Marvel kept it moving. The Hawkeye TV show came out. He's still going to be in the movies. You know, they had a renovation show with him on Disney.
The contrast raised questions about double standards, accountability, and how race may play into who gets canceled and who doesn't. At the end of the day, this interview wasn't just about wild Diddy rumors. It was about legacy, discipline, accountability, and double standards in celebrity culture. Whether you agree with Charlamagne or Vlad, one thing's clear. When the story of Diddy is told years from now, it won't just be about music or success. It'll also be about downfall and the dangers of unchecked behavior. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.